Okay, it says I'm live. We're going to go from this angle because the cats are in my chair and the sun's out. So I'm going to enjoy it. Hopefully, I can get this to work. I don't know if anyone's going to show up, but I thought I'd do a live. And then after this live, I have to record a video for... Oh, good, that's not my eyebrow. Hold still. I got something on my screen. It made it look like I had a streak in my mascara. So how is this coming through? Is this Sally? My cousin? You're the only one I know that calls me Chrissy. Hi. Whoop, there about went my phone. Yeah, I've been doing these so eventually I can get monetized here on YouTube. Oh, that might be too loud. I don't know. To get monetized, I have to have like 4,000 watch hours. So, hey, Paola, how you doing, hun? I love you too, Sally. So, I got to get 4,000 hours to be monetized. I probably won't keep being monetized because that's a lot of work. Okay, thanks for showing up, though. Oh, I know that battle all too well. Except I moved mother too many times to count. The first time was from a 3-bedroom house and to a 700 square foot apartment. This dining room table is her dining room table. Hi, Sandy. How are you? This table's her table, and it's got 3 leaves downstairs. If I want to, tickles my hair, expand it. Her furniture is now my furniture because I haven't had to buy furniture in Jesus a good 20 years because every time she moved, she got new furniture. So the last time she bought furniture, I went with her to pick it out so I could make sure I got something that would go with my colors in my living room because I knew I was going to end up with it. But I know people deal with parents who have dementia and they don't remember stuff. Oh my God, yeah. This one's 4. And I'm home by myself most of the day. What do you call it? Oh, blasted. I forgot what I was saying. Let's see. Before downsizing, with dementia, they don't remember things. They forget things, but no, not mother. She didn't have dementia. Yeah, mine didn't. Mine just refused to cut her legs off, so they were basically infection got to her. But there's my cat. So she wanted to know where every little tiny thing was. Where are my plates? Where's this? Where's that? I couldn't do anything with them but keep them downstairs in my basement. So I couldn't get rid of anything. What I did get rid of a lot of was her paperwork. They stacked up, She'd open her bills. She'd open other things. Came across cards me and my brother gave her, and she never opened those. So yeah. And once she passed, I was able to give Cecilia, who was in the chat here, how do I describe her? Cecilia's basically adopted mother who raised her. Mother's parents' nativity set that's about 200 and some years old. I was able to mail it off. So without, because mom wasn't there to question. Between my two boys, I'll get one, and then the other one will completely forget about it. And a week later, we'll just say, "Oh yeah, Happy Mother's Day." So, yeah, one will remember. The one with the 3-year-old is going to completely forget. So, that's my granddaughter. It's easier to refer her to as the 3-year-old because the girl I watched on daycare I've had since 2 months old, she calls me grandma. So, hey, John, how you doing? So, yeah, he'll probably forget because he'll be too busy pampering. Oh, sometime in May. Let's see, because I'm going to be out of town. The 12th, May 12th. Yes, I'm going to the Forester's cabin that weekend. Well, I'd love to go for that week. Going Saturday, the kids. So I'll at least the kids are going to show up. That's right. On Sunday, they can play out by the river. They can play in the woods. They can play wherever. I'm going to have to get a leash for the 3-year-old. And just enjoy the day. And there's no such my mouth is dry. There is no cell phone signal. Oh, on March 10th. Okay, that's the day we over here spring forward on our clock. Yeah, exactly, John. Yeah, we spring forward. There's no cell signal up there. There's no internet. There's no nothing. So they won't be bombarded. And the almost 19-year-old now won't be sit there and stuck to his phone all day long. But he likes to chop wood, which is handy. Yes. So we'll have a big old fire out there and enjoy it. How you doing, Mary? Oh, Mary. Oh, I saw that. I wasn't awake for that. Oh gosh, do you have to do that caca in the UK too? Man. And Mary, who was it? My other's keeper did a couple of videos, and I watched part of one, and then I got through the second one, and then they both ended up private. So I don't know what happened. So, but yeah, I just it's what was it? That's the only thing I learned from National Treasure with Nicolas Cage was that Benjamin Franklin invented daylight savings time. It's a pain in the hiney because I just get used to it, getting dark at a certain time. Okay, it's starting to get dark. Starting time to do dinner. In the middle of summer, it's getting dark at 8, and we're eating at 9. Okay, so tonight at 7 p.m. Central. So that's 5:30. Okay, I'll try to catch it. Hopefully the daycare kids will be picked up by then. Yeah, same here in Washington too. We're tired of it. Arizona doesn't have it, and there's another state that doesn't deal with it either. But I have to get to the point in springtime when it's after they changed the clock, I just have to close my curtain so my brain. Oh, why? Okay. So my brain says, okay, it's time to eat because you don't want to be up at 10 o'clock doing dishes because you ate at 9. Yes. It was interesting. She started about OCD and then something else. And I was going to comment and I turned around and it was gone. I was like, oops. Okay. It said private. But yeah, how's everybody's day going? I know Paola's tired. I'm stiff. I'm sore. I went to the tannery Friday, Saturday, yesterday. I can't scratch my back because it hurts. It's not so much now, it's not so much the sunburn. I think whatever they use to clean the beds, I'm allergic to. Because right down my back, I have like a rash. I'm like, lovely. Oh, I've done that. Oh my goodness, I've done that. And then I wake up in the middle of the night going, oh, it's just a bad sleep night. Go to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning and yeah, go take. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you are used to things in a certain spot. I'm used to chaos, but I can still find where it's at in a certain spot. And I guess, what do you call it? Survivors of narcissists are very cluttered, and once they're gone out of their life, they start getting more organized, and that's what I've been trying to do. Yeah, I have a pill keeper morning, noon, early morning, right before bed. Yeah, and I'll go and look at it. It takes me a good hour. I did a live here one day just for something to do, put it all together because most of it's supplements, but it's a handful of stuff. Who needs breakfast? If you saw what I take in the morning, you get my potassium, my water pills, my let's see, thyroid. What else is medication I have to take? My Celebract, along with all my other supplements that go with them. My calcium, my vitamin E, my cod liver oil, my vitamin C. Yeah. Who needs breakfast? Just take a whole bunch of those. Yeah, it's basically an autoimmune disease. They just can't pin it down. I went through so many whatever the people who specialize in arthritis when I was younger because they thought I was going to end up with rheumatoid. Been there. I've got several jackets that look exactly the same in my closet with still tags on them. It's like, okay, well, this is a good sale. I'll buy this and then hang it in the closet and forget about it. And, see it again later on and think, oh, this is nice. I'll get it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the skin. Oh, God, just to be, when your whole skin hurts, there's no way to explain it. It just hurts and it's terrible. I took the shots for my sciatic nerve. Oh yeah, I don't know if I'd consider myself normal, but I don't know, maybe just a little out there, just enough to survive. But, yeah, it's got 18 pressure points, as I think if they're still diagnosing it this way, that cause pain, and it's yeah. I was getting the shots, the nerve block shots from my sciatic and for my bursa. And because before that, I could barely walk. Oh, wonderful. I sleep on, I sew my own um, fleece bedding. I just put a by 2, 3 yard, well, 6 yards, and then cut it in half and sew it down the middle, and that'll fit a queen size, probably a king size bed too. And it's so much easier than a sheet, except it's so warm in the summer. You get that's exactly right. What did Robin Williams say? Keep a little bit of insanity because they haven't learned how to tax that yet. Yeah. Super scared. Montana? I love you too. Oh, yeah. I remember that when we took the boys to see my birth mother. They were always laughing, going, thank you. Always laughing, going, we're going to Montana, where men are men and sheep are scarce. Oh, that was Montana's boring. Oh my God. My birth mother lived in Laurel next to Billings. I haven't tried that one yet. I sleep on an extra firm memory foam mattress. I got to get rid of the electric one. I woke up one morning with a cow in my front yard. I called a coworker and said, "Did your cows get out?" She's like, "No." All right. I said, "There's one in my front yard." I've had horses in my front yard. Let's see, raccoons, skunks. Skunks aren't afraid of me. They just ramble off like an old grumpy old man who's someone's interrupted their cat food dinner, and cat food's not good for them at all. So none of the cats have been sprayed yet. So that's a plus. I remember waking up one morning to raccoons fighting by my front door. Yeah, you could hear this hitting the storm door. You get 2, 3 in the morning, it scares the crap right out of you. You're like, what is going on? You look out the door and they're out the window and they're fighting on your porch. Actually, well, that's not up here. That'd be a steal. That would be. Housing prices in Washington just through the roof now. And out here, you take what you can get, and if you can find a place, because most places you either inherit it or they're building new ones, and I don't like the new houses. They're like little cookie cutter houses that are just right next to each other. No, thanks. No. Oh, yeah, but even just for is it zone agricultural? Interesting to think of Florida with a forest. But yeah, zone agricultural, that wouldn't be too bad. If it's zoned agricultural out here, it'd be immediately apples. And you see that curtain moving behind me? Okay, this 80 years ago had a door, a swinging door like you see would watch on the old black and white I Love Lucy's. It's gone. It's I saw someone who had a door I thought would fit perfect in because it's like what 32 inches wide, except it was a bunch of glass panels, and I went, no, the boys would break it. So I put that up. Around here, a lot of people jump on that for farmland. What do you call it? Because I'll be in my kitchen, and since I'm the only one home, I will turn on a little radiator heater and just heat up the kitchen and work in the kitchen. And I use that curtain. Or I like that curtain because if it's light outside, it'll be darker in there. But well, maybe they'll actually do something to the people who just filled up their garbage bags and run away. But that what do you call it? Not to mention, what is it? 80,000 IRS agents. Hey, Cag, how are you? But I'll just sit in there with my little cocoon, doing my dishes, doing my cooking or whatever, and I can just kind of close myself in, and I like that feeling. I don't think I could ever do the open concept house. It's just me. I'm not used to a house that's I don't want everything so god awful open. In the last house, I had a good sized kitchen, but I still had a entryway. It wasn't all open. And hopefully the next house has a little bit bigger kitchen. Yeah, I'm content to sit in the bathroom in the cold day, really cold days of the wintertime. I'll just heat up the bathroom and keep it nice and warm and sitting there. I'll clean the bathroom, get a book, some music going, and then I feel secure. It's like I said, I live in a house, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, upstairs, or ground floor, basement, 2 kitchens, and I'm by myself. So I don't heat the whole house. Very rarely do I heat the whole house unless it's getting really cold, so the pipes don't freeze. But other than that, I keep the living room and the dining room about 72. Yeah, I know. So, come here, mamas. Oh, this my baby. This the new baby. Well, she's not new. New to being indoors. I don't know what happened outside, but she won't go back out. She does not want to go outside anymore, which is causing havoc with my tortie. The tortie crapped on the floor right in front of the bathroom today. Mama's little mama. Just if you can see her ear, not that how it's nipped at the end. I thought she was just going to be an outside cat, and she's going to, because she was a stray who had kittens in the daylight basement window. And so, oops, sorry about that. You slid off. So we got her fixed, thinking she's going to be a community cat, and they to designate a community cat that's been fixed as they snip the top of one of their ears. So now she has one of her ears have a nip. So at least nobody will pick her up and think she's a stray cat and she's a fixed community cat, but she doesn't leave the house anymore. Oh, my nose. Oh, I'm allergic to all animals with fur. Oh, and I'm allergic to the poor thing. Sometimes I wonder if Tommy's not allergic to cats with his allergies. Rabbits are the worst for me. Oh, I'm getting better because about 25 years ago, I had a Maine Coon. Beautiful cat, big, huge cat. And after a while, my eyes started swelling shut if I'd get fur. But this one, No, she doesn't bother me. But yeah, so I've got that up there, which keeps me kind of secure. And the 2 steps down to go into the laundry room has a big opening, but I have it covered with not this, some really thick ones. It took a blanket and folded it in half and then sewed it. And so there's one on each side, and it's red because I like Apple stuff. I collect Apple stuff. It's red, so and a velvety kind of thing because it was a blanket. So it's like going through the theater curtains every time. You know, when you go to when you're on stage and you walk out and you have these red velvet curtains you have to walk through. That's what I always goof around and pretend like I'm going back on stage. I long hair. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there goes cat hair. Yeah, I took to see dancing from kindergarten through my senior year, choir from 7th through my senior year, acting in college, and I'm a housewife. Yeah, I'm a housewife. So, not too many have a demand for a 5'3" tap dancer. No, yeah. I remember when I was in high school, someone came up and told me I needed to go to Las Vegas and be one of those dancers. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'm not tall enough. Think you have to be a minimum, I say 5'7". Yeah, I was never going to be that tall. So my brother's 6'4". I learned to hit him and run. Yeah, pretty much. And acting too, is I acted like I was so enthused to see so many different bugs. It's like, Mom, come here, look at this. Oh, okay. Um, Keith came in the house the other day with a tray. He was going to get some, that was by the back door, and was going to get some stuff started in the house. And he turned it over and went, yeah, that's got to go back outside. It's had a praying mantis, whatever, little casing stuck to it. I said, well, we can't use it until it's been at least 70 degrees for several days. Then you can use it. You can bring it in and use it because it's going to hatch. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have boxes and boxes of art. Oh, yeah. Well, mine wasn't so much storing bugs. It was holding it to put his carnivorous plants outside so they could still hold water. And when the sun hits it after so many months, it's brittle. But I always made sure the kids would take mason jars, those canning jars for bugs, or I'd give them pickle jars. So, yeah. Wow, you're tall for being in Ireland, 5'7". Lolo, I can't pronounce his last name. He's about as tall as I am. And I think my friend on Facebook, Colin Fitzpatrick in Ireland, he's like 5'5". So, my kids would, bring in bugs in their hand. It's like, put it outside, please. Let it go. Let it be free. Yeah. I catch spiders and whatnot in the house, and I put them outside. And if they survive, they survive. There's nothing much, I'm not going to chase them around. Oh, those Jerusalem crickets, they're about this big. One of those ended up in Steven's, the youngest, and his girlfriend's stuff back from camping. And she insisted that he kill it. He's like, no, and she was mad because he wouldn't kill it. He went and let it go out front. Yeah, he's like, I don't know if it's going to survive. The birds in me. Your daughter's as tall as I am. My mother, my birth mother is as tall as I am. My birth father, I guess, is tall from what I've heard. Still haven't met him. Just talked to him twice on the phone. But yeah, he just let it go outside, and if the birds ate it, the birds ate it. It's, it's the circle of life. But oh, she was frosted. He would not kill that. I mean, and we have oh, what are they called? I know if they're called what is it? No, it's not a whip scorpion. The kids had one of those. A camel spider. Except Washington gets them like this big. I've only seen two of them. And the first one, I didn't know what the heck it was, and I squished it as it ran across my legs. Five. Oh, I bet. I had a tia Ivrala was like, tia was like 4'8". She was tiny. She wasn't a midget. Wasn't a little person, but she was just really tiny. Ah, potato bugs. They are related to crabs. They're a crustacean. No. Yeah, when I was younger, they have their babies alive. Or either they have them alive or they carry them, whatever, until they hatch. And if you turn one upside down, sometimes they come out. And it wasn't a very nice thing to do, but it was really cool when you're about 12 and you want to see something different. But, I don't mind spiders. I don't mind, except for the ones that are deadly. If you hold a tarantula, you're not going to feel it. As big as they are, they're so delicate and so soft, you don't hardly feel it at all. But don't ever drop it from the waist height. The dead bug. The kid who would come by and check all our traps in the meat department and spray and everything. He let me know if I ever need to eat an ant, especially the big ones in a pinch, to take their head off first, and then you can eat the rest of them. Because they give the phosphorus, the big, I call them carpenter ants, mountain ants that are about this big. Yeah. I think, I would think, what are they called? Water bears are from another planet. Because they can survive in space without anything. But they're just microscopic. But some say that they probably hitched a ride on a meteor or something and ended up here. But I had the kids bought me some beautiful green beetle. Oh yeah, we got still not as bad as Australia though. But it was taxidermied or whatever you call it, mounted. I don't know. There was like 3 of them, really pretty. Effervescent. No, not effervescent. Maybe it is effervescent. Well, really super bright and really pretty green. And then, they had their wings open, and then you could see their little delicate wings on the inside, and somehow something got in there and ate it. Weevils, I don't know how. Yeah, I'll have them on my couch after this is done. Weevils got in there and ate it. They were already dead, but they just ate. Oh, I was frosted. I couldn't get it open. I couldn't get the thing open to do it. So when the 30-year-old, she got what do they call deadhead moth? Something. Basically, like Silence of the Lambs moth. I told her to watch out for it and to keep an eye out. And she looked for it, and there was one in there, and she was able to get it out with a pair. She was able to get into that frame that shadow box and get it out and remove it. So I said, and now she's got a couple of cicadas, and I said, keep an eye on those because it was just terrible. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even get in there to even save the shells off the beetles without breaking the glass. And the belfry doesn't exist anymore in Seattle, so it's not like I can just go get another one. So it puts I know, or it gets the hose again. Oh yeah, no, those are no too big of spiders. No. Those, what are they? Funnel web spiders? Yeah, no, thank you. I don't know if anybody remembers arachnophobia. I have so much weird trivia locked up in here. The big main spider that they had in arachnophobia, he was a bird-eating tarantula. So his, I don't know where to put it, but he was about a foot wide. His diameter, legs and all, were like a foot. And someone spilt some wine and got him drunk. So they couldn't do much with him for a while until it wore off. So I'd learned about those, and long after learned that down in Brazil and that they eat them. They take their thorax and the innards and scramble them up. They said like an omelet. There's a butterfly place in Seattle. Oh yeah, I've never finished arachnophobia, but the people in South America, they eat them. They scramble their innards like an omelet, and then they toss the rest of it in there to burn off the hairs, and then I guess they say it tastes like prawns, and then they'll use their fangs as toothpicks. I'm like, yeah, no thanks, no thanks. Mm-mm. They said the innards are kind of bitter. No. This big push of eat bugs. Oh no. No. We can't. This is what people aren't aware of. We cannot digest. It starts with a C or CH. Whatever it is, we can't digest it. It's cancer causing. The only ones who can digest it are birds. And we are not birds. Now, if I'm going to have, I don't mind a creature that eats insects and gives me food. That would be an egg. We have chickens that give them they get a little baggie and it says the larvae for the ladies. And it's just dead grub worms and they eat them, and it just cracks me up that that's what it's called. Yeah. I don't know, roasted. What's there to eat on? Oh, those are disgusting. The lab-grown meat. Mm-mm. And what is there to eat on a chicken? There's nothing. I mean, some comedian years ago had mentioned that they were somewhere and they were given chicken's feet, and they could take that tendon and just make the foot open and close. And I'm like, oh. I mean, okay. Oh yeah, I'm on Eastern Washington. I'm by Yakima, Natchez. I'm on the dry side, where people don't have gills to survive like they do on the west side. Yeah, I lived in Oregon too for a few years. I lived in Walport, by Corvallis, and then I lived in Sweet Home. Oh, Sweet Home was gorgeous. The already cooked ones, yeah. I used to have to. Being a meat wrapper, I'd have to prep chickens and whatnot, and I never forget one day some of that juice splashed into my mouth. Oh, that was nasty. I thought I was going to get sick. My butcher, God rest his soul, um, he looked at me and starts laughing and he goes, I'm sure you've had worse things in your mouth before. I was like, oh my God, lad. But I was informed when I started in the meat department, he informed me because then he was only about like 72. He goes, um, there is no sexual harassment. It's all intended. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Pretty much. I was like, oh, he was a kick in the pants. He was a kick in the pants to work with. Man, he started getting slower and slower. So I'd start coming in later and later because it was like I'd come in 2 hours after he got there so I can just start wrapping because he'd already have most of it cut. And so pretty soon I was arriving at 8:30. One time my boss goes, the owner goes, we having a banker's hours over there? I said, well, I said, you can always bank on the fact that I will be here. I was almost never, ever sick. But we only worked from like 8 to 12. And there was your small store. You don't cut a lot because you want it to be fresh. I'm really picky now that when I go into other butchers, look at how they wrap their stuff, make sure everything is, make sure there's nothing hiding underneath because that's a very bad habit that's not good. Oh, lad was adorable. God, he was a kick in the pants. I mean, he was the guy who taught me about Majestic 12 and what was it, the Club of Rome, and that was before he never had any access to internet. It was just like probably stuff he read. So, and it's funny because he was the butcher in the Sunnyside, the Grandview Safeway when I was in high school. And so it was funny. I'm like going, I started looking at him thinking, God dang, he looks familiar. And then we got talking and I went, oh my God, you were the butcher when I was in school. He would drive from Yakima all the way down to Grandview. That's about a 45-minute trip every day, 6 days a week in his little, what was it? Volkswagen Scirocco, something like that. Yeah. And that lad was really cool. He was really neat. And he died of lung cancer. He went in, he called 911, said, I think I'm having a stroke, and called his son. He went into the hospital. I wanted to go see him, but I couldn't take the baby. And I thought, well, okay, I'll wait till Thursday that when I don't have her. And he died the day before. He had stage 4 lung cancer. He didn't know it. The doctor didn't know it. Nobody knew it. He knew he had something, because he was slowing down, but no, he never knew he had quit smoking, had quit drinking, he had quit. He was one of these people the doctor said, you need to quit smoking, and he quit full turkey, and I didn't even notice that he quit. Most people are grumpy or whatever, and no, it's just the same. He just stopped. I'm like, wow. But we ran into his doctor, which was hubby's doctor for a while, out on the trail, going up, was it Bear Creek Mountain? And I asked him about Lad. He goes, nobody knew. He goes, none of us knew. So, because I figured, well, maybe the doctor knows. No, well, I got snow Friday for maybe an hour and a half, really hard, and then it was gone. But yeah, that was kind of interesting to run into his doctor and finally get answers, to why. So, yeah. But yeah, I haven't worked in 8 years. I gotta have some Diet Pepsi. This shit's terrible for me. I need to go back to tea. Yeah, I tried to tell my doctor, my practice, my whatever, my main doctor, that about disability, and he's like, "Oh, you'll miss having the work companionship." He doesn't understand. I probably wouldn't do well with work companionship anymore. I don't think I could do corporate. Oh no. Yeah. And I'm like, if I want that, I could just volunteer, but I can't get him to sign off on disability for me, even though I don't know if I could work a real job. Well, yeah, I'm chasing around either a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, or a 12-year-old. Nah, the at least the 3-year-old can now talk and tell you what's going on. So, the 8-year-old she's cracking me up because she's just huge. She's almost to my shoulders in the second grade, and I'm like, wow. Her dad one time when he dropped her off, it's the feeding the every 2 hours, and that other crap that they give you, and I'm like, mm-hmm. I just fed her whenever she's hungry. She's a good sized kid. I never could stand listening to babies in grocery stores that just cry, and you knew they were hungry. Hey, Louisiana, how are you? Just have snacks with you. Yeah, she'll make her own, which is nice. Is now she'll make her own sandwiches. She'll come in and make her own peanut butter and jelly, or she'll come in and want a quesadilla. She'll make her own in the microwave, and then forget it's there, and then wonder and go back to make another one. I'm like, no, you got to finish the first one you got over here. The 12-year-old has now discovered graham crackers, and he will eat a whole package of graham crackers. He's getting to that age of having the hollow leg and eating everything that's not pinned down. So, but yet picky. It's like, do you want Ritz? No, I don't like Ritz. Do you want soda crackers? Not really. Do you have any of the little square one, the rectangle ones? I don't think so. It's like, you want cheese stick? No, I don't want one of those. Do you want ramen noodles? Yeah, I'll have one of those. It's like, yeah. Whereas my boys just ate everything and anything. They weren't picky, except for vegetables. The oldest would eat broccoli, youngest would not. The oldest would eat broccoli right out of the garden, and I never did tell him. One day I'm watching him, I'm like, no. So he had some aphids and extra protein with that piece of broccoli. So, hey, Davey, how are you? So, yeah, he got broccoli with a side of aphids. Aphids are sweet. I made a mistake when I was younger, blowing bubbles into a little group of them. I didn't catch it fast enough and I'm like, took out my gum and stretched them all out, and they were all scattered within my gum. I was like, that's nice. Yeah, I threw that gum away. Got some more. It was just like, it was so gross. I could still see being there at the Grandview Park, City Park. No. The only other bug I've eaten close to is an ant on accident. Now my youngest has purposely done, I'm not sure why, those shots with scorpions in them. They were down in Vegas. Yuck. And he also ate one of those candies with the scorpion in it. Said it wasn't too bad. It's a little crunchy. And I'm like, no, thanks. I'll eat chorizo before I eat that. And I know what's in chorizo, the original. Yeah. It's still good, though. With eggs and potato and a tortilla. 5 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to go out there and pick cherries. It's good. Yep. I used to pick fruit as a kid down in the lower Yakima Valley for money for the summer and for school clothes. Yeah, we do. We do. I felt something on my arm one day and I'm laying there and sleep. I'm one of these people who sleep with one arm sticking straight out. And I felt something on my arm and I went like this. And I felt it roll. And I'm like, I'm not even turning the light on to find out. No, I don't want to know what that was. Just kind of rolled up. I'd say chorizo. Or how was it? A lot of people say chorizo. I'm like, no, it's chorizo. I could probably, yeah. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I could probably learn Spanish pretty easy, but I don't. I used to know how to ask you everything in Subway if you wanted those on your sandwich. But yeah, I could do that. I don't know if I could remember anymore, though. Probably not, no. Papinos is peppers. Tomates, I forget what lettuce is. Um, yeah. Jamon, I forget what turkey is. Yeah, but I could do that when I worked at the Subway. I could do all that. And I knew just enough to get me in trouble because of my pronunciation. Yeah, I know. Onions were difficult. And my pronunciation, it sounds like I speak it. And so they start talking to me, and I'm like, no, 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 no comprende. I said, muy poquito, muy poquito. And they start laughing at me. It's because I was raised around it. Yeah, I was never taught. Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Um, so I know the pronunciation. I know I can kind of read it a little, but mother was too busy to teach me. All I learned was eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. So, but I was, yeah, she spoke it fluently. It took her quite a while to switch gears to go from Spanish to English. So she'd wake up in her sleep demanding to know what time it is in Spanish, and my dad hadn't a clue what she was asking. Oh, Lifeboat, the YouTube channel Lifeboat with Tommy, the Variety channel, the one that I help mod. Yeah, great place. You know, and I'll probably go live tomorrow too. I about the same time. Before that I'm off with at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays is Church Without Walls, Love Boat. He did wear that hat. I remember back when he was wearing the hat. I remember when he got COVID, I was worried. Yeah. He was doing the boat sideways from the desk. Not so. Yeah. Yep, that's the get. Mm-hmm. I never make the morning ones. Princess here doesn't wake up till 9:30. Lately, I've been waking up at 9. So, yeah, 105 squats in a day. My legs are killing me. Ugh. Yeah, but what's that one? Escada? I'm not sure. Like I said, I was raised in the. I was raised in the. God, I was raised in the Mexican culture, but I was one of the few relatives that didn't speak it. I It's like I said, mother never had the time. She didn't do any of the cooking because, as her words, is it just makes you fat. She wouldn't make tortillas, but she couldn't cook to save her life anyway. But then I was around the ones. Uh, great grandmother and great grandfather, well, mother's great grandmother, great grandfather, came up in the 1800s when they went through and divided all the big landowners' lands up for the people, and they said they lost their land. And so they, oddly enough, went to Alaska for a while. Obviously didn't stay, but yeah. Back in the day when you just walk over this bridge and you were in America. So it was I don't know, the older generations that have been up here, but yet it was still so much the same Catholic Mexican culture. Yep. And I had someone ask me one day I said something about the white culture, and someone on Twitter goes, "Well, what do you mean?" Or the white tradition, something like that. And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, I can't pin it down exactly, but when I go to mom's side of the on family for Christmas, on the Mexican side, it's way different when I go to dad's white side for Christmas." And they're like, "Oh, yeah." So I told them I knew what I was talking about because I was raised in a biracial household. So back in the 60s when that was taboo, I guess they said, and had to make a law recently. I'm like, news to me. I'm concerned about the wall between the government and there needs to be a definite wall there. My concern about the wall is, oh, okay, all right. Because walls not only do keep people out, they keep people in, which isn't a very warm and fuzzy feeling either. So, that's cool. I don't know if I could take a screenshot on mine. Where am I at? This phone. Oh, I can't even find myself. Where am I at? Can I get a screenshot so I can find that name of that town in Oregon? No, not me. Not me. Okay. No, that just shut off my screen completely. There we go. I'll find it later. I liked Oregon. I like the West Coast in Oregon. It's really pretty. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember coming back through we went into Canada, not a problem. Coming back into the United States, they wanted the boys' birth certificates. I didn't know we were supposed to have them, so I didn't pack them. And so when they asked us about the birth certificates, well, first they asked, "Are these your kids?" I said, "Yeah. Why? Do you want them?" And she's like, "Do you have their birth certificates?" I said, "Oh yeah, they're packed in the back of the car." And she's like, "Okay," and then let us through. So, yep. We're not even supposed to transport something in Washington after a certain spot because of apple maggots, I guess. And I think down in Oregon too. I don't know. I always took food with me wherever I traveled anyway, but yeah, it's not like I'm gonna go drop it and plant it in someone's yard. So, but yeah, I also probably shut this down. My back is starting to kill me. I see why people have gaming chairs. I mean, I got my chair in there, which is comfortable, but it's just chaos. I got to take out my bookcase. I may go live tomorrow from in there while I go through my bookcase and take that apart so that I can put up a new one because evidently when I put it together, it's a little crooked and at an angle. And God forbid it's going to fall on, it might fall on the baby when she's sleeping. It hasn't moved in the 3 years that I put it up. And so much weight on it, it can't move. But Amazon must have heard the conversation because I got a notice, flash sale, the same bookcase for $50. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And guess what he gets to put up tomorrow? A bookcase. But I'm salvaging all the shelves because I have enough books to choke a horse. So there, which reminds me, I need to check and see if Reverend Ed has received his book. I sent him a book from the 1880s and outlines of Bible studies. So hopefully it arrives in Canada. Yeah. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to get up and move because my left leg is now asleep. I think I'm going to need a pillow because the cushions on these chairs like this thick. They're enough to eat for 5 minutes and get up and move. So, and I can't redo them. There's no it's not like the one chairs I have. You can just wrap stuff around and restaple it. It doesn't work with these because of the way the sides are built. All right, everybody, this was fun. I will be back tomorrow, and I'll probably be in the other room. So you can watch me go through my stuff and reminisce on where I got things and what a strange book that is. Okay, guys, have a fabulous day. Love to you all. I'm out.